And who do I know wouldn't mind showing other people how they can travel for less and be able to get paid to travel? And so you can partner with the company. And when you start running down that list, you're like, that's a lot of people, so, and when you start hearing the stories from Wielda and from Mel and from Emilio and so many other people that have taken the trips, you're going to find out that, it's absolutely incredible. In fact, our CEO and founder just got back last night from Las Vegas. He was there for 8 days and it cost him $7. And yes, you heard me correctly, $7. So I'm going to reach in my wallet here, see what I have in here. So here we go. This is a $10 bill. That's $3 more than you need to spend 8 days in Las Vegas, okay? $7 he was there for, he was actually at the Trump Hotel, had a full kitchen, living room, separate bedroom. Obviously, gorgeous place. And we have those kind of deals all around the world. Whether you want to go to Europe, you want to go to Tenerife, you want to go to the Canary Islands, you want to go to Asia, you want to go to Africa, you want to go to the Caribbean, you want to go to South America, you want to go to Central America, you want to go to all over the United States, Canada, Philippines, Fiji. If you can dream it, we can book it. And that's just with the what we call the getaways, the I trips. We also have the world tours, which is where I met Wielda. And I met, of course, I'd already met Mel from Miami, but I was down there with her in Cancun. And that was our world tour. And we have another one coming up, for example, in Las Vegas, Nevada, October 1 through October 4. We are going to the Wynn Hotel. Now, for those of you who may not be that familiar with Las Vegas, over half of Vegas was built by Steve Wynn. W-Y-N-N is his last name. So W-Y-N-N, Steve Wynn. He built his final hotel as a monument to himself. He named it The Wynn. It has 29 times been voted a 5-star, 5-diamond hotel by Forbes magazine. That means it is one of the nicest hotels in the world. If you want to go there and just get an ordinary room, it will cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars per night. If you want to get a room above the 28th floor, it's what they call the panoramic view rooms. And so you have this amazing view of the entire strip. You have an amazing view of all of the mountains that are around Las Vegas. It takes a special key just to get on a special elevator to go up to the 28th floor. And if you want to go to a room like that, it's over $600 per night. However, we're going to be having a 4-day experience, October 1 through October 4, and our platinums are coming for $199. That's $50 a day. I mean, again, it's an experience most people would never have if it wasn't for our company. And you're not going to have that experience alone. You have 100 to 500 people, that go to these different world tours around the globe, and we have them everywhere. We have 2 coming up in Key West. We've got obviously Las Vegas, Nevada. We got Tenerife. We got Mauritius Island. They got one in France. They'll keep adding new ones all the time. And of course, the great thing about our model is the fact that we have people joining every single day, every single week. We've had people rank advancing. The company's actually getting bigger, even during the current climate. And some will say, well, wait a minute, people aren't even traveling right now. How are you guys growing? Well, when you can buy travel for up to 70% off, and when you spend your money, it's giving you points that you can spend on future travel. People are like, whoa. I'm not looking to take a trip today. But if I join the club and pay that small little monthly membership, 6 months from today, I get to go on a trip for like 70% off, 80% off. I mean, hook a brother up. And so we have people joining the company every day, every week, not because they want to take the trip today, but they want to take the trip in the near future. And so for my wife, Gina, and I, we got started a couple of years ago. When we got started, we only knew one person outside of the United States. And that was a lady by the name of Miss Renita Lowry. And so we told Renita about the company. She had a friend in Jamaica who then had a friend in Solomon Islands, Bendigalia, who came on board, who then gave us a group in the Solomon Islands and Papua New Guinea. I called a buddy of mine by the name of Bill out of Buffalo, New York. Well, Bill signed up because Bill wanted to travel for less, wanted to travel free, wanted to get paid to travel. Bill called Sonia out of Atlanta, Georgia. Sonia had a friend, Elora, who was originally from South Korea. She was bilingual. She had a friend by the name of Kim in South Korea who flew from South Korea to the United States, spent Thanksgiving with my wife and I a couple of years ago, and that's how we got a team in South Korea. If you can't tell, I don't speak Korean. We called a buddy of mine by the name of Jim, who told Scott. Scott had a friend by the name of Samantha in the United Kingdom, and that's how we got a group over in the United Kingdom. I called a buddy of mine by the name of Daryl and Maria in Las Vegas, Nevada. They had a friend by the name of Danny Seguignol, who was friends with Bryce, who had lived over in France, and that's how we got a team in France, Belgium, the French Polynesian Islands, Mauritius Island, Madagascar, Reunion Island. Obviously, we told a buddy by the name of Alton Stevenson Jr., who told a couple of people, who told Camila Peraza, which is how we ended up meeting all of you. And now the team's obviously in Colombia, Argentina, Chile, Puerto Rico, Spain, and other places I'm probably forgetting about, right? Again, I mean, I barely speak one language, English. I'm jealous of all of you who speak two languages. I think that's absolutely incredible. But the real point here is that it's not about skill. It's not about talent. It's not about being bilingual. It's not about anything that me or my wife have done. It's about showing people how to do the one thing they really want to do, which is travel, and how to do it for less money, how to do it for free, or even how they can get paid to do that. That concept translates in every language. When you show people how to travel for free, I don't care what language you speak, free, zero dinero, guten gastu gusek, nothing, nada, right? Translates every language. People understand, free, yes. If it's for free, it's for me. Okay, that's all over the globe. Don't care where you're from. Don't care, where you live. I mean, again, people are inherently the same. We all want the same things. We all want to travel. We want to have fun. We want to create memories that last a lifetime with our families. And a lot of us are looking for some financial security. And for my wife and I mean, we told a few who told a few. The team started to grow. Then they told a few who told a few. And our kind of a compensation program, which Melanie just outlined for all of you. Melanie, by the way, fantastic job. When she outlined that pay plan, what it means is that every time people join, we make a little bit of money off every single membership. And all of you have that same opportunity. Well, now the team has gotten to the place there's so many people joining from all over the world. I mean, people we don't even know. But don't get me wrong, we love every single one of them, okay? We don't speak the same language, but we love every single one of them, right? And so I say that affectionately, but I mean, we've obviously had people everywhere joining the company. And so today, our income is no longer dependent upon what we do on a day-to-day basis. My wife and I could go to Hawaii, sit on the beach, drink out of a coconut, do absolutely nothing for the next 6 months. And the only thing that would happen is our check would go up. And this is the place you want to aspire to be. I don't know how many of you have heard of a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. It is the #1 selling financial book in the world. And in that book, he draws a diagram. He calls it the cash flow quadrant. So you can see that. You got a fat cash flow quadrant, right? Most people find themselves on this side of the quadrant. They are working a job, exchanging time for money, or they're self-employed. Meaning, if I'm self-employed, but maybe I do hair for a living. If I don't show up and dye the hair and cut the hair, no dinero, right? If I don't do the nails, no money. If I don't, drill the teeth like a dentist, no money. If I don't do the billing of an attorney, no money. So they might be self-employed, but they have to show up in order to get paid. That is where 95% of all people in the world find themselves. They find themselves exchanging time for money. Now, you have 4% who have become business owners and 1% who have become investors. So only 5% have made it to the other side of the equation. These people trade time for money, okay? These people have money that comes in irrespective of what they do. They can sit on the beach next to me and the money just keeps coming in. Ironically, the 95% over here control 5% of the money, okay? And the 5% over here control 95% of the money. So, I mean, which side of this equation do you want to be on? I think I'd rather be over here where my money comes in, whether I work or not. I think I'd rather be over here where they control most of the money as opposed to the people over here that are working like a dog, but barely paying the bills. I mean, they're out there like on the treadmill, just running every week. I mean, they wake up and, they're off to the races. I mean, they're trying to get ready and get their hair done and get dressed and pack a sandwich and do this and do that and get in the car, and they're driving and they got all the traffic and they're sucking on the tailpipe of the car in front of them, and they go to a building that's got someone else's name on it. They're being told what time to show up, what time they can get off, what time they can go to lunch. Can I go see my kid's baseball game? No. Oh, sorry. Hey, can I get off early because my aunt died? Oh, no, sorry. I mean, you're being told when you can go on vacation, what to do. You're sacrificing the things you really want to do in life. You're sacrificing the time of the people you really love, the time you want to spend, the time you want to spend with people in life. You're sacrificing all of that, a huge part of your day, for a company that barely pays you enough to pay your bills. And therefore, you work just hard enough to keep from being fired. And therefore, this kind of vicious cycle is going on, and there's no prosperity in it. There's no chance of really ever getting ahead in that equation. And so what we did was we simply teach people, hey, if I could show you how to work our business part-time and replace your full-time income is, so that you can do the things you really want to do. Are you open to taking a look? Okay. And so I'm just going to take you, Mel, for an example. So Mel, what do you do for a living? You're a corporate analyst, right?
Yeah, I work in finance. That's the thing, Todd. It's interesting because I actually have a good job. I have no complaints. But in this environment, you really see that it's like they say in economics. There's there's fixed costs and variable costs, right?
Sure.
And you figure, okay, you can deal with the variable cost, but the fixed costs you think they're around forever. But in the long run, everything is variable. They can get rid of you because everything has changed in the environment. When you thought you were a pillar of the company or whatever, when things change, it doesn't matter. The company has to survive, so it will do whatever it has to do. So that's really why, I really took more of this to heart to say, this is a way to create something, a legacy for my family. And it's such an easy thing to do. It's travel. Everybody loves to travel.
So Mel, pretend I bumped into you. We didn't know each other. And I just said, hey, Mel, what do you do for a living? You say, I'm in corporate finance. I might say, hey, Mel, let me ask you something. Is that your passion in life? Is that what you love to do? Or are you doing that just to pay the bills?
I'm doing that to pay the bills. I mean, I feel pride in what I do, but it's to pay the bills. Okay. I like to be able to help more people.
And that's a question, that's a question all of you out there can ask anybody, anytime, anywhere. And you're going to find out that the predominant answer is, I'm doing it to pay the bills. Now, you occasionally meet someone. No, I mean, you might bump into a waiter or a waitress. Hey, I mean, is it your passion in life to serve food, or is this something you're doing just to pay the bills? And some people are like, no, I mean, this is what I love to do. I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else. This is how I fulfill myself. You will meet some people like that, but the majority of people are going to respond, no, this is just what I do to pay the bills. And say, well, let me ask you something. I'm going to go back to you, Mel. So Mel, what are you passionate about? I mean, if you weren't worried about paying the bills, what would you be doing? If you had all the time in the world, what would you do? What are your hobbies? What excites you?
Well, I like to travel. I've lived in other countries. I've learned other languages. I really like to travel. And now, my kids are grown, so I'd really like to be able to do that. But as I mentioned before, sometimes you want to go somewhere, but either your friends, they don't have the time or they don't have the money. Okay.
So the number one answer we get is travel, by the way. When you ask people that question, the number one answer is travel, but you'll get a variety of answers. Some people, I love to dance. Some people, man, I love archery. Some people, I love needlepoint. Some people, I'm into reading books. I'm into cooking. I'm into gardening. I'm into whatever it is. But they're typically telling you that, yeah, if I didn't have to pay the bills, I wouldn't be here. I would be doing something else. And then you can just come back and say, well, let me ask you something, Mel. If I could show you part-time how to replace your income with what it is you currently do so that you could spend more time traveling, spend more time living in other countries, spend more time learning other languages, would you be open to taking a look?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And see, guys, when you do that, it's like Wielda said earlier, when you do that, you're not selling. When Wielda told her story about this amazing trip she took, she's not selling. And when she shows other people how to do that, she's not selling. She's solving people's problems. And when you do that, I'm not selling. I'm solving Mel's problem. I'm showing Mel how to get the thing she really wants. So I'm kind of stuck here where I don't want to be. That's the problem. I'd rather be over there. I'm going to say, hey, Mel, I'm going to show you how to get from here to there. If you're wrong, if not, that's okay. And so again, we're not selling, we're solving people's problems. People say, Todd, what do you do for a living? I solve people's problems. It pays extremely well. And so my point being is that anytime you bump into anybody, these are questions you can ask them, which is, hey, what do you do for a living? You know, hey, is that your passion in life, or are you just doing that to pay the bills? I'm just doing that to pay the bills. Hey, what are your real passions? What are your real interests? And whatever they answer, just go with it. Be interested. You don't need to be interesting, just be interested. Be interested in them and their answer. I mean, they're into archery. Wow, really? I mean, so how long have you been doing archery? Just start asking them questions. When they're talking about their habit, their passion, that's going to create a connection. Then you can come back and ask them the $10 million question. Hey, if I could show you part-time, you know, with a part-time effort, how to get out of this thing that's holding you back from doing the things you really want to do, would you be open to watching a video? Would you be open to taking a look at something? Yeah, I think I would. What do you got? Hey, tell you what, now's not the time. It's not the place. I'm in a hurry. But hey, give me your information. Give me your Facebook. Give me your WhatsApp. Give me your phone number. Hey, I'll send you a video over. Let's check the whole thing out. Fair enough? Sure. Guys, you could be doing this all day long. And you're simply looking for people who are looking. You are looking for people who are dissatisfied. You are looking for people who want something more in life. You're looking for people who want to travel for less. They want to travel for free, or they want to get paid to travel. Now, I think some of you may not know this. I happen to teach a course called The Biblical Secrets of Network Marketing. And even in the Bible, right? Jesus says, I didn't come to call the righteous, right? But I came to call the lost sheep. I didn't, you know, it's not the healthy who need a doctor, but it's the sick. So even Jesus knew that he was looking for people who were looking. He's looking for people who are hungry. There's a proverb right out of the Bible that says, even honey, right, to a person who is full, as good as honey is, to a person that's completely full, honey doesn't sound good at all. But to a starving person, even the most bitter food sounds sweet, okay? Meaning you're looking for people who are hungry. Jesus said, blessed are the hungry, for they shall be satisfied. Right out of the Bible. Blessed are the hungry, for they shall be satisfied. And when we talk about the hungry, think about the lion for a moment. When we talk about the lion, we think about the king of the jungle. We've all seen the Lion King, the king of the jungle. But if you think about it for a moment, why is the lion the king of the jungle? It's not the biggest animal in the jungle. It's not even close to the elephant. It's not close to the rhinoceros. It's not the fastest animal in the jungle. It can't keep up with the cheetah, not even close. It's not the smartest animal in the jungle. It's not even as smart as a hyena. So why is the lion the king of the jungle? Because of its hunger. When it wakes up, it's hungry, it's ferocious, right? The truth is that about 18 hours of the day, the lion's over there sleeping, lazy. But when the lion wakes up and it's hungry and it's on a tear, that's what makes it the king of the jungle, right? And so it's kind of that hunger that you bring to the table. And what you guys are looking for are people who are as hungry as you. You're looking for people who want it as bad as you or more. You are looking for people who are looking. And the part of prospecting is understanding that not everyone is looking. You can literally go out there and you can meet people that, oh my gosh, I have this horrible job. I hate my boss. They don't even pay me enough to pay my bills. I think they're going to lay me off next week. And you say, well, really? Hey, I got this thing and you ought to take a look at it to make money. I don't know about that. I mean, you're like, huh? I mean, people can frustrate you at times. You want people, man, I just wish I could travel. Hey, come join my club. You can travel for pennies on the dollar. I don't know about that. And so part of, prospecting is learning that sometimes the fear of what's out there is greater than the misery of what's in here. And so sometimes when you're prospecting people and they say no, it's not that they don't down deep want to make money from home. I mean, who wouldn't rather have their money show up while sitting on the beach, right? Who wouldn't want to sit on a beach, drink out of a coconut, and have their money show up every single week, whether they work or not? Down deep. Everybody would love to have that type of a situation, but they don't know if they can do it. They don't know what people are going to think of them. What if it doesn't work? What if they fail? I mean, all these things come into place that cause fear. Again, if you're a Bible reader, churchgoer, the number one commandment in the Bible is not don't sin. The number one commandment in the Bible is fear not. It says fear not 365 times. And so, you have to choose fear or faith. And the funny thing about fear and faith is they have the same unknown future. You can have faith in something positive, but it's an unknown future. You can have fear of something horrible, but it's an unknown future. And so both fear and faith are unknown, but most people choose the fear versus the faith. And the problem is that your thoughts magnify. Whatever you think about tends to come about. If you think about, I got all these bills I can't pay, well, your obsessions become your possessions. If you're thinking about all these bills you can't pay, you get more bills you can't pay. If you think about, man, I got no money in my checking account, you get more no money in my checking account. If you think I got no amigos, you're going to get more no amigos, right? What you think about comes about. So there's a mechanical side of success, but there's also a spiritual side of success. And when some of you can just learn to kind of embrace the spiritual side, embrace faith. Again, going back to the Bible for a moment, I'm not trying to push religion on anybody, but again, if you are a student of organizations, the Christian church happens to be the single largest organization on the planet. Jesus went out and recruited 12, says, I'm going to teach you to be the fisher of men. They went house to house, town to town, told the story, got rejected. Jesus taught them how to deal with rejection. And from there, they built the single largest organization in the world. And so you can obviously go to the Bible and get a lot of incredible reference points for how to build a large organization. A lot of, the tips and techniques that it takes to go out there and make this kind of thing happen. So again, if you go back to the Bible, Jesus tells us many are called, few are chosen. We're not 10 cleansed. Only 1 out of 10 came back to give thanks to God. Understand that you are looking for a few people. You don't need everybody. You just need a few people that are hungry, a few people that will choose faith over fear. Jesus said, hey, as you believe, let it be so. Jesus said, your faith has healed you. He went to Nazareth and he says, I couldn't heal many people because they had so little faith. So again, the Bible's clear. If you have faith, miracles can happen. If you don't have faith, there's not going to be any miracles. And if you have fear, you're going to magnify more bad things that happen. That's just kind of, again, the spiritual side of success. But guess what most people do? They go home, they watch the negative news, they spend hours and hours taking in CNN and MSNBC and Fox News and local news. And I mean, it's all about who died, who got killed by a car accident, what tragic thing happened today, COVID-19, the death count rises, right? I mean, you can't take in all of this negative all night long, hang out with your negative friends who've got no money and empty bank accounts and say, wow, how come I'm not attracting better people to myself? How come I'm not attracting prosperity into my life? I mean, sometimes you got to kind of change the cycle. You got to start reading positive books, listening to positive audios, making sure you're getting on all of the different trainings with Camila Peraza, Emilio Sejas, and all the other incredible leaders. Attend this event every week when Melanie does such a fantastic presentation. Any chance you get on the corporate update call with David and Adela Hart, you got to get around the positivity. You got to be reading 10 pages of a good book every day. You got to be listening to 15 minutes of an audio every day because you got to start changing what's going on here. In fact, in the Bible, Romans 12, verse 2, it says transformation begins with changing the way you think. Again, transformation begins with changing the way you think. That's the word according to God, not Todd. Don't get those two confused. Okay, so again, I'm just kind of quoting what the good book says. And I think that you'll find there's a lot of wisdom in there that can help every one of you take your business to a new level. And so again, it's a pretty simple business. We go out there, we share it with people, we try to solve their problem. Hey, what do you do for a living? Hey, is that your passion? Or is that just something you're doing to pay the bills? Hey, what are your passions? What would you really like to be doing in life? If I could show you part-time how to get out of this job so you could full-time do the things you really want to do, would you be open to taking a look? That's the mechanical side of our business. Have them watch a video, have them get on a webinar like this, have them get on 3-way phone calls. You're going to learn it's a business of third-party credibility. Again, going to go back to the Bible. Even Jesus says you cannot be a prophet in your own land. So Jesus did miracles that mesmerized everyone across the countryside. But when he went back to his own hometown of Nazareth, things did not go well. Hey, wait a minute, hold on. Don't we know his mother and father? Don't we know his brothers and sisters? And they were going to stone him. upon which Jesus said, no prophets accepted in his own land. So I always tell people, if it didn't work for that dude, it ain't going to work for you. That guy was pretty good. And he was pretty good. Okay. And so you're attempting to do something that even Christ himself could not do when you try to be the person who does all the telling and selling. This is a business of third party. It's a business where, man, I got to get you on the presentation with Melanie. I got to get you on the presentation with Camila Peraza. I got to get you on the presentation with Dave and Adela Hart. I want to introduce you to all the members of my upline, which, by the way, if they speak English, all of you should be calling me as well. I'm happy to talk to any single person that, and if we can get a translator, I'm happy to talk to them through a translator. And so you guys should all be calling me. As you know, you should have my phone number on speed dial. I should be you got Camila Peraza on speed dial number 1. I got Amelia Sejas on speed dial number 2. I got Todd on speed dial number 6, right? I mean, but I should be on one of the keys. As far as people that you might call to say, hey, I want you to talk to my prospect. I want you to meet this person or that person. And, that way we can kind of just share our story of what's happened for my wife and I. And because we've been so blessed by this company. We're not allowed to make income claims, but July 15th, we had to write a check to, they moved it from April 15th to July 15th. And so, because of P2S, we had to write a 6-figure check to the IRS. Now, are you bragging or complaining, right? On one hand, it really sucks when you write a 6-figure check to the IRS. I mean, you practically like, I think I need a drink. On the other hand, you're like, hey, how blessed are we that we have to write a 6-figure check to the IRS? And so, again, this is a problem that we want to create for more people. We want to obviously, I made the comment to David Hart, hey, our goal is to pay 7-figure check to the IRS, not because I like the IRS, but because of what it represents. You have to make a lot of money to have to write a 7-figure check to the IRS. And so the goal is now let's get a 7-figure check. So again, we can share our story of how the business has spread all over the world. And gang, I'm telling you, we're nothing special, no big deal, barely speak one language, only knew one person outside the United States. It was simply the power of the concept. And the truth is that most people have never been taught how to make money. If your parents are not millionaires, I know they might have loved you and they cared for you and they did their best for you to teach you values and all those other kind of things. But if they weren't millionaires, they probably didn't know how to make money. They were taught, get a job, and they were probably just, fighting to survive and take care of the kids. And again, it's great that they did that, but I don't know how to play the piano. Therefore, I cannot teach you how to play the piano. And if your parents didn't have much money, they probably couldn't teach you how to make money, right? Just kind of a simple concept. And most people have never been taught how to make money, or they're being taught the wrong thing. They're being taught, go to school, get a degree, get a job, work hard. And who do you know that's ever worked for? And you're like, nobody. And you go look at the stats, who's got all the money? People that are on that other side of the quadrant. How do I get over there? You can get started with P2S for free. You can go sign up, get a replicated website, get an ID number. The company actually lets you start building a team for 30 days before you even have to make a decision. You can buy a membership. You can buy our big package for $249 and $125 a month, which, by the way, if you get 3, it's free. You can buy our middle package for $129, $69 a month. And again, if you get 3, it's free. Or, hey, maybe you're going to tiptoe under this thing. You're going to buy the small package for $79 and $39 a month. I mean, I don't care where you sit financially. Any person can go down to the local gas station, collect the plastic bottles out of the garbage can, go recycle it, and come up with $79. Again, blessed are the hungry, for they shall be fulfilled. I'm going back to the Bible because it's the hungry that are going to make it happen. How hungry are you, or how hungry are the prospects that you're trying to attract into your life? You are looking for people who are hungry. You are looking for people who are looking. I have people who always say, Todd, tell me, how do you motivate your people? I don't. I simply find motivated people. I've never once called any one of you today and said, hey, I hope you'll get on the webinar with Melanie today. You're going to be there, right? I mean, no. I place outgoing calls to prospects. I take incoming calls from excited distributors. I don't beg. I don't hold people down and give them noogies and please, 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 please do this, right? I go out and I find people who want to travel for less, people who want to travel for free, and people who want to get paid to travel. It's a very simple business. It might take you a little time to kind of figure it out. You got to kind of, do it a little while before you kind of, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Okay, now I got the groove. Now I know what to do. And once you do, it's like, man, you're going to be putting them in. And I don't know you, I don't know your mix of skill, I don't know your work ethic. I don't know if it's going to take you a week, a month, a year, a decade to get this thing done. What I do know is that it's worth it. What I do know is that if you had any idea how unbelievable residual income is, money that comes in that's not dependent upon you doing anything, the checks just keep showing up. If you had any idea how incredible that feeling is, you would run through brick walls to get it. And again, it's what we do in this profession is easier to do than most things all of you already do. It's a lot easier than being in corporate finance like Melanie. It's a lot easier than being a barber. It's easier than being a CPA. It's easier than being a stockbroker. It's easier than being an attorney. It's easier than being a policeman. It's easier than running a backhoe and doing construction. It's easier than being a landscaper. It's easier to do than most things most of you already do. You simply haven't been taught. And if you give it a little bit of time, you'll figure that out. And eventually you'll build a story where you'll be on here telling people, hey, you can do it too. I promise you it is worth the journey. So with that, Miss Melanie, I appreciate the invite to be here today. For everyone that is here, I'm excited to be here with you. I'll stick around if you guys have any questions, if you guys want my contact info, any of that type of stuff. But again, I just appreciate a moment to get to speak to all of you. And I can't wait to meet you guys at a world tour soon. We're going to be traveling the world, having fun, making money, making friends, and making memories.